Wow! Hi everyone, I'm really excited about this video. This video is going to be about my DMT experience. Now, as you probably know, a lot of you aren't really familiar with these two groups of, you can say, psychedelics. One group is more for personal consumption, for parties, making love longer, stuff like that, which is like the MDMA and acid and LSD and Molly and Burning Man stuff. And there's a whole different part that is called medicines. In other words, magic mushrooms for medicinal purposes, ayahuasca, peyote, and DMT. So I want to share with you exactly how many times I did DMT, what I've experienced in that time, and everything that comes with it. So stay tuned. So, my DMT experience. So I had quite a few. The one that I want to talk about is the one that I had in Cambodia. I have to tell you that when you're doing something like this, first you have to do it in a sacred place, in a sacred environment. This is not one of those things that you can do when people around you are talking or there's noises. It's better for everyone to have its own time, especially if it's a very small group, and to respect each other's, privacy, to honor the process itself. This is a very, very short ride, okay? We're talking about 3 or 4 minutes being in the zone and then a gradual, I would say 5 or 6 more minutes until you're completely out of it. Now, the experience itself can be scary. So if you're not ready for it, don't go for it. Go for it only if you feel a calling, if you have the security and you hear that there's something there that it can teach you more. Now, what is DMT? DMT is a molecule, and that molecule only occurs or only is used in the body in 4 instances. When we are born, it's secreted, and then when we are dying in the death process, when we're sleeping, or when we're taking psychedelics, okay? So you understand that there's a part that is being activated. Because what is sleeping? What is death? Death and birth are the times that the souls come in and out. Sleeping is the time that the subconscious and the conscious mind are actually synchronizing with one another. So this is considered a shortcut, and a shortcut is not for everyone. I know that if you prefer to meditate for 10 years in the Himalaya mountains, go ahead and do that. Sometimes people like to explore, and again, this is not for everyone. So it's not like I recommend, I'm telling you this is your way. I'm just telling you that this is something that you can explore if you feel a calling for it. And again, use your own consciousness to know if you're ready for something like that, because this is a very, very intense ride. So what happened with me was, first I was in love, I was in an appropriate place, I was respecting the process, I was ready for it, and I was humbling in the experience of it. When I went in, one of the things, again, it's like you smoke it, it's something that looks like an Indian peace thing, and you can inhale more, you can inhale less, so you can be more experienced or less, it can be more intense or less, or more eccentric. I took the whole dose because I was like going for it all the way, and it wasn't my first time as well, so I had a little bit of experience. The first time I really saw like a pathway in space, okay? And in that pathway, there were little cubes, okay? And each one of those cubes was making a wall. It was like a tunnel, but more like a wall. So it was open above and open below. And there were 1 billion little cubes. And each cube was very, very small. And it had an infinite amount of sides. So like a regular cube would have 6. And it was continuously moving around. And each one of those cubes and each one of those sides have a different moving video for me. Now, this moving video sometimes was of this place, sometimes was of another planet. It was very vivid. The colors were very much alive, sort of like in the Avatar movie at the nighttime when all the jungle was illuminated. And every one of those little things, and again, I'm talking about 1 billion different cubes all rotating simultaneously, giving me all these different options of where to go, where to explore, understanding the true infinite potential. Now, there's a difference when you're just dreaming it, when you're trying to logically understand and interpret everything that you're experiencing, and there's a difference when you can actually see that you're receiving all the information simultaneously at one time. It's sort of like it connects you to the present moment, understanding that really everything is here and now. Now, the dimension that you jump to, and again, I could explore anywhere. I was just keeping my breath, and then for a time I stopped breathing, and it felt like an eternity has passed, like being in the breathless state of absolutely nothing, not needing a breath of air. Now, of course, it might have been half a minute, it might have been a minute, it might have been 2 minutes, but it felt like eternity until you come back. So that's my exploration, and then I met a couple of little aliens. Who knows, maybe it was my imagination, maybe they're simply there, because what happens is that we're jumping from the three-dimensional, some of us are vibrating a little higher, so the fourth-dimensional entity that is the construct of you, and you're jumping into the sixth. And in the sixth dimension, it's more created out of sacred geometry, different patterns like the circle of life, like triangles, and you see everywhere you look, you're going to start to see the patterns that are the building blocks of everything that you see around you. In other words, whatever we see here is a part of the illusion, because there's layers and layers and layers, right? Some people, we can feel the layer of their emotions. Some people, we can hear the layer of what they're thinking because they're emanating it. Some person, without even speaking, will be able to feel them from across the room if they need our advice. Or they will come and they'll be close to us because they need a part of our energy. So like a woman is much more connected spiritually, so she can actually enter a womb and intuitively feel if this room needs a little bit more protection, a little bit more love, a little bit more tolerance than other things. And men are a little bit more indifferent about those type of stuff. So I can tell you that this was my first, and was a beautiful exploration, and I came out of there like with my eyes wide open, because I understood that some things are happening in the background even without my mind understanding them, a different vibration, a different understanding. But one time I took DMT and it was very harsh. The first 2 minutes was really, really nice. You know, I went on my exploration. I felt different things. I did it with my eyes open, which is not recommended all the time, but I was in the Dead Sea and I was with friends, and it was really cool to see everyone like that. But then I met a clown, okay, and this clown kind of like traumatized me. In other words, ever since then, and it was a few years ago, I haven't done anything like that ever. And again, I was in a different state. Now I'm married, I have a baby girl, and maybe it's not for me now, but I do know that one day, because right now I'm afraid of that clown, because it had this like, it was huge. It was like the Cave of Wonders in Aladdin, if you remember that from the '92 film, and it was a huge face, and it was laughing. In the beginning, it was laughing gently, but then the laughter became sort of like a horror type of laugh. The type of laugh like makes you shrink and compress, because you understand that there's something that is beyond that. So I don't know exactly what that was. I have a few ideas. Maybe it was, my demons confronting me. Maybe it was something that was trying to take away my energy, because I have a very strong manifestation energy, and I have been attacked in different ways in the past by you can say by entities or by people that wanted to take my energy. But I do know that maybe it was just an obstacle for me to become afraid, and for me to learn how to face that fear by doing it again one day. Understanding that the clown will come and face that clown. And I don't have a clown fear or anything like that. By the way, there's a name specifically for fear of clowns, which is kind of cool. I don't have anything like that, but I do remember that as a bad experience. So in the end, I didn't come out of there like, I came out of there, okay, something, not ideal or perfect. And that's why I took a different road ever since then. But I do know that one day I'll go back there and I'll heal that part, because I don't like to be attached to any type of fear. I like complete freedom in everything I do. So if you do feel ready for something like that, feel a calling, and I'm sure that when you tell Spirit that you're ready, whatever it is, whatever, if you want to call it medicine that is out there, that is going to help you heal, help you get to your next step, help you connect, is going to get to you when you are ready for it. So it's just about the patience. It's sometimes about asking some people about it, but eventually, if you're ready, you will enjoy it. So thank you very much for sharing, or for being me while I was sharing. You can see my regular energy is a little bit more calm. Here I'm a little bit more excited. I really connect with that, and I was excited about making this video. And of course, if you guys have any advice, any comments about this type of thing, don't ask me where to buy it, don't ask me where to go and stuff like that, just about my own experience. You can write it here in the comment section below. And subscribe to my channel, enjoy the video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Namaste.